Liverpool took over. Luis Diaz getting a couple. How well did Liverpool play today, in your opinion?
I think they've been excellent, really. I mean, considering the fact that, what they did going to Milan and made it so easy, absolutely dominating that. But of course, it's always a difficult match, right? I don't even want to go down the history and the Champions League, a couple of times, a couple of decades ago. But I think it's never easy. Of course, I think if you need to look at in detail, Arne Slot will look at that Semenyo goal because, again, just like against Forest, there's a warning sign. We all know that even under Jurgen Klopp, there's been plenty of times where Liverpool go behind in matches. So you certainly don't want to get in the habit of that. But the response after that, Mark, was absolutely tremendous.
Luis Diaz is becoming really important to Liverpool. Another 2 goals today. He's had a brilliant start to the season. Would you say he's reaching levels of Sadio Mane importance to Liverpool?
Yeah, and here's, because you look at the start, I mean, at the moment, Liverpool top of the table, and I think, for the most part, it's been a dream start for Arne Slot. To me, that Nottingham Forest thing is one-off. And it came after the international break. Of course, others have done well after international break, but looking at the season as a whole, you have to say, because it was so chaotic there, that was just absolutely one-off. But Arne Slot, his number one job was to maintain and continue the excellence from Jurgen Klopp, and he has done that. And the second job, I think, given that the transfer market wasn't great and they didn't buy anybody of true significance, right? You have to say that his second job, Mark, was to make players better. Mm-hmm. Luis Diaz is one of them. I mean, absolutely excellent, right? I mean, here's a player that all of a sudden looks a finisher, a certain amount of culture that was missing because he certainly had plenty of chances last season, but he was so inconsistent in that. And so it's not just him. I mean, look at Dominik Szoboszlai. Mm-hmm. He's been absolutely reborn, and if he was reborn, then what do you say about Gravenberch, who once again was absolutely excellent? He was born, really, because he didn't exist for the most part under Jurgen Klopp. So I think you got to give Liverpool and Arne Slot a lot of credit with all the players that you've mentioned. And we'll probably get on to Mo Salah because it seems to me that he's happy and he's playing a different role in this team.
Yeah, he is. Let's get to the goals. The first 2 for Luis Diaz. They were kind of different, the goals today, weren't they? The first one was more direct. Konaté's long ball. Great work from Luis Diaz. Then a good run for the second by Trent Alexander-Arnold to play in Luis Diaz. And then for the third, even if you're not a Liverpool fan, if you've got to have a soft spot for Darwin Núñez. And it's a brilliant goal because if he doesn't score that, you're saying, why didn't you pass to Mohamed Salah? So 3 kind of different goals today for Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, the first one from Konaté, I mean, that's obviously a Kepa gone fishing as well, but it's not all that simple because as a player, and if you Luis Diaz, you see the goalkeeper coming out, so that's always uncomfortable. The way he kind of brought this ball down and finished it was superb. On the second one, yes, it was Szoboszlai. The way he drove to the middle. So much has been said how different this Liverpool team is. And I'm still waiting to see, you can say on the club they were more direct, but were they really with Slot? I mean, you see over the top, you see them on the break. It's been said that the possession is a little bit different and they hold on to the ball. I don't know. I haven't come to a conclusion. So you're quite right. And Darwin Núñez coming in and scoring like that far post is good as well. I mean, he kind of has been sitting on the bench for the most part, but here's Arne Slot again, substitution, seeing the game, being secure or the seasons being good, given Darwin Núñez an opportunity. Because Jota, quite frankly, has been off his game just a little bit in the last few matches as well. So he's been managing all the players, I think, very properly and a lot to look forward to because the narrative, Mark, was negative, not signing players, but he's getting them better. And I look at that midfield all of a sudden where we kind of worried a little bit. And it's strong, it's powerful. McAllister, once again, very good. So I think many positives. And I don't think many of us have felt that before the season started.
You said a couple of minutes ago, Janusz, we're going to maybe talk a little bit more about Mohamed Salah. So let's do that. Can you compare and contrast this Mo Salah the way he's playing, where he's being asked to play under the Mo Salah of Jurgen Klopp days?
This may just be me, and because we're going to see him scoring a lot, but it almost seems to me that he's been more of a playmaker than a goal scorer. And that may be the case. It always is sometimes with players after a few years at a club, as they get a little bit older. I don't think that's by design necessarily. I mean, I certainly don't know that, but I look at him and I think he's much more involved in the build-up than he is in scoring. Because I think that, we thought of him as this goal scorer who's won the Premier League in terms of scoring goals and has always been up there. I guess, when Haaland comes in, then everything changes in a way. But I liked what he does. When I watch him in the past, his first thought, Mark, was always to score. Remember how we felt that he was selfish, and strikers and goal scorers need to be. But you mentioned Sadio Mane. Remember those two kind of Sadio Mane wasn't shy in terms of kind of letting people know that he feels he's selfish from time to time. And I don't want that selfishness to go away. But now when I watch him, I think more often than not, he's looked to set somebody up before he looks to score. So it may just be me. I mean, no insight on that from anybody else. But I kind of like it because I know he's going to get his goals, and yet he looks to me more of a playmaker. And I think that's superb because I've mentioned that midfield, and that midfield is powerful. There is no magician there. There is no Odegaard or Cole Palmer, the classic playmaker, technical, that's kind of threading the needle. It's just power, which I very much like on this Liverpool team. And Mo Salah gives me that impression that he's a playmaker from a wide position that's making that point even more so than in years past.
Interesting. Now, Bournemouth, they've done well or done okay in the games that they're expected to do well or okay in, and they've lost the games that they're probably expected to lose. They've got Southampton and Leicester coming up over the next couple of games in the Premier League. They've got enough, haven't they? They shouldn't be in too much trouble this year.
I think they do. I mean, you look today, the way they played. I like the fact that they were always kind of sort of in the game, even though game was decided by halftime, really. If you look at the scoreline, it's a big ask. But Semenyo scored. Remember, he had that 20th minute, he had a great chance. Again, Kelleher stopped him. Remember, towards the end, it was Cook that hit the crossbar, and then a tremendous save from Kelleher. Sorry, the game just finished, and I didn't have a chance to see stopping a certain goal on the line. Kelleher was. I don't know who the player was. So I think they have enough. Cliver, even though substituted, I think in the first half I was looking good. Evanilson still trying to find his feet, but he looks the part as well. Christie, Tavernier, obviously capable of scoring, good shot from distance. I think there is enough in that team not to worry in the end, but this is a Premier League. I'm looking to score and late goals today. I think, I look at Wolves, right, who needed a win, and they lost, didn't they, late? They did. So this is a crazy league. So I certainly don't want to say that Bournemouth are going to be safe, absolutely safe, but I think you're right saying that they have enough.